Hello everyone, here we are, Santa Ventura, hole number 1, par 4. Now, what I'm going to recommend for you guys for this one is probably, really in these last few tours, you almost now have to have kind of insane clubs is what I'm noticing. You can get in a situation, well, not necessarily. As long as your opponent has equally bad clubs as you, it won't come to bite you. But what I'm noticing is it's much harder. Here you can see, my opponent, Pock 6. If, let's just say, for example, my opponent doesn't have Thor's hammer or, it looks like it just clipped that fairway. Probably would have missed it with a perfect ball. But what I would recommend, as a safe shot, would be not to take it off of that and just to kind of go around it. It's going to be a little bit safer to roll through this rough, and that's basically what I'm going to recommend. And what it's going to take in terms of shot making, probably landscape mode would be recommended. It's not required, especially with this wind, but it's just going to, get me over towards the right as much as possible, which is a good thing. So here you can see, I'm being a little cautious. I don't mind missing a little bit left here. You just got to keep it out of the sand. Here you can see that I get it up into the fairway, no problem. I don't recommend doing it the way that my opponent did. That was very risky. Maybe with a tailwind or side wind situation, but not where you have to go full power like that. But here you can see this is a very interesting wind, relatively easy here, probably almost as low as we could have got as well. This is probably only about 10 miles per hour. It's probably very close to the min wind that you can get for this tour. What I would recommend for a long iron would be, length is going to be a premium in these last 3 tours. You're going to have to use B52 or Goliath. Goliath if you don't have the capability to have a lot of backspin on your B52. So if your B52 is early, you're not going to want to use it. But here you can see, I'm not too bad off here. I'm going to maybe use just plus 5% into the wind like this, and we'll probably use very close to that max number. You can see that I'm not quite at max, but I'm probably going to use very close to that max number. And you'll also see me kind of maybe offset the guide just slightly to kind of play wind effect. And as I mentioned, we're going to play very, very close to the max ring number here. 7.8 rings, somewhere in here. Perfect ball. And it looks like I just needed a little bit more offset. One of the things that you do need to be a little bit careful of is, landing on mounds like that. It definitely is a downslope where it's kind of angled a little bit. So it does kind of dictate the way that your ball pitches a little bit. And you got to be a little bit careful at that. But I at the same time, when I have to drive it that short, it kind of limits me to what I can do with the ball, especially not having that high backspin option as an available, where you can land it on the green and backspin it. It kind of limits the way that you need to play the hole. But there you can see, not too bad. I'm going to split these videos up, at least for temporarily, so we can have, separate holes here. So I'll catch you guys on the shootouts.